So hello everyone, my name is Pritam Paul and welcome to another video. So as I have give the status about the Sweden video, so here it is. I guess you might have waited a lot. So this is the thing. So without wasting the time, let me introduce you the person, Sharanik Bhaiya. So he is from my college. He passed out in 2016 and right now he is in Sweden. So we will try to explore a lot of things about Sweden, about their education system, about cost of living, blah blah blah. There are various things, obviously. So we will try to explore. So welcome, Bhaiya. Welcome to my YouTube
Hi,
channel.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So please introduce yourself.
So, hi, this is Sharanik. I graduated from NIT Agartala in production engineering, 2016 batch. And after graduation, I landed myself with two jobs. One was Tech Mahindra and one was Ramco Solutions, and also an opportunity to get to do my master's in KTH, Royal Institute, in production engineering and management. And I joined KTH 2016 August, and I've completed my master's in 2018.
So Bhaiya, first of all, the first and foremost question is that why did you choose Sweden? And
So why I chose Sweden was I did not look into much colleges in US or Canada, and I wanted to work in the automobile sector. And when I looked into colleges in the production track in Sweden, I really liked it, and the global ranking for Sweden for this career path was very good. So I just applied for this college and one college in Germany, and I just prayed for the best, and I got. So I did not think of applying in many institutes. I just, if I get, there was something which when I tried to know more about Sweden, there was something I liked about the place, the pictures and all, and it just, I just wanted to get into this college, and there is no specific reason of choosing Sweden as a college. But yeah, like even working, the possibility of working into Scania or Volvo, because these are like dream manufacturing companies where any graduates want to work. So the hope of getting employed by these companies made me study in Sweden.
okay, so Bhaiya, as you have told me that you have done your bachelor's from production engineering department in NIT Agartala, so you applied there also. That's good. But I wanted to know one thing more. That means, for example, if anyone from civil department, from computer science, from electronics, electrical background, there are several departments, right? So Sweden means from for which departments Sweden would be an ideal country to apply. What do you think?
So so there are a lot of departments. Like if you're interested in sustainability, there is a track in sustainability. If you're interested in manufacturing, there is a department for manufacturing. If you're interested in ICT, or there is tracks in embedded engineering, robotics, and all branches have their own benefits. There is a separate branch for product engineering, product development, and all these courses of studies are in English. The master's track is in English. So that's a big plus point, that everything is in English. And if somebody is interested to study, the websites in the career pages have all the description. You just need to know about the university, and you can just go into the website and what options you have, what subjects you will study, what the teachers are, what their qualifications are. Everything is given in the website. So but the only thing is, you don't hear much about Sweden when you are in India. So if you know someone who is working there and it just comes up, and then you know about the colleges, there are like Chalmers, there is KTH, and once you know, all colleges are specialized, like all have good ranking, and the quality of education is superb here. So if you want to study, you just need to go to the website, see the options that you have, and see that are you really interested to take these courses, and then you just apply. And as all these courses, the study medium is English, it's not a problem. And I knew that the education system was free few years back, so it was free to study here in Sweden. It's only now that they have introduced the tuition fee, because yeah, it's bringing them revenue, and we are a
Yeah.
big source of revenue. Yeah.
Okay. So, let me just go back to your BTech days. When did you just apply for the master's course there during your bachelor's. So tell me about that journey. That why did you, how did you apply, and what are the exams you have given, and what are the exams they look into that anyone should have, and what is the application procedure and like that.
I applied in 2015, and the application period starts after like late October, November. So you just go there, and they have the basic application requirements. And I had given my IELTS exam. But after coming to Sweden, I came to know that if you are graduating from an Indian college, you don't need IELTS exam. You just need to apply. It's just a cover letter. Transcripts are very important. And the cover letter should include the motivation for studies. So that's very important for why you want to study, to mention what is your motivation, what is your end goal. So I guess like your transcript, the courses that you have taken, and the reason for application is very important. And I don't think mark plays an important role in getting, because I have had friends who had 60% in their college and still study. They have like 90% still studying in the same branch. So I don't think marks is a criteria. The main criteria is the subjects that you have taken, and whether the subjects you have taken aligns with what you have applied for. And that's the main requirement. And once you fill in the application in November, you get, if you are qualified, you get a notification in late April, and then the next step starts. But if you're interested to study MBA or masters, then there is Stockholm School of Business, which is also a reputed school, and that requires GRE examination. But a student should check into the website, and all institutes have specific requirements. So now because it was 5 years back, now things might have changed. So, but those are the basic requirements, these two: cover letter and the transcripts, and then hoping for the best,
Yeah. So another thing is there, that what is the application deadline? As you have said that in the November timeline. So I guess to apply for fall, means year X, you have to apply and 1 year back. I guess October, November. Is that so?
Yeah, so if you want to study, say 2021, if you want to study in August, the course that starts in August 2021,
Mm-hmm.
you need to apply 2020 October, November, December. That's when the application opens again. I guess it's late October. I don't know the exact date, but that's the time. So you apply that date, and then you can begin studies 2021 August.
Okay. And Bhaiya, is there any spring session and autumn session there?
Spring session are only for EU students, so it's not for master students. So they have like transfer, they call it, I forgot the name. So a lot of their European universities, which they have like exchange courses.
Yeah.
So exchange students, they can come and
allied programs and allied programs, I guess.
So you can like, there is also system
Erasmus Mundus and allied programs, I guess.
Erasmus program, and there are courses where you come to Sweden and you apply for Erasmus, and you can do an exchange semester in Germany or France, and then you can do that also after. But it depends from course to course. So even when I was doing, I came to know there was like, if you are from production, you can do like a course in Germany, but it brings added challenge for international students is you need to apply for visa, and the visa is the biggest headache. So international students don't do that. They just go for one track and do it in the same country.
Okay. So just now let's talk about the fee structures in average in Sweden.
So for when I took my admission, it was 72,000 SEK for one semester, which is around 4 lakhs. Yeah, 4 to 6 lakhs, and the total fees is around 300,000 SEK, which is around 25 lakhs. So you will end up spending around 25 lakh rupees for 2 years of studies in Sweden.
Only for the tuition fees.
That's only the tuition fees. Then there is the accommodation fees, which ranges from which can be around 6,000 SEK to 8,000 SEK, which is around 50 to 60,000 rupees, depending on the type of accommodation that you choose. There can be shared, there can be single room apartment. So so a student thinking to apply for Sweden has to have a mental budget of around 60 to 70,000 per month. and then it depends on how many months you're studying. So that multiplied by 24 months, and then there is like more months to, when you're applying, searching for a job. So it will be like 6 lakh per year to around 18 lakhs more, you can say, for 3 years if you are just
So
working.
if I summarize the whole thing, I guess 40 to 45 lakhs minimum you
Yes,
need.
yes. And that's
Almost
like you're
almost
reading
as
like,
like as in USA, right?
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that, I'm saying that's on the higher side. That's the maximum. If
Okay,
you
okay.
cheap yourself out and share, then you can reduce by 5-6 lakh, but you will end up spending that much money for
Okay.
sure. And that's like you are also, that's I've also included, like you're going to travel around, you visit some places because you would want to go around, you have to go
Yeah.
back home. So that's including everything.
Okay, okay. And if I talk about the course duration in general, means in Sweden, so what is the course duration for the masters?
So my course was 2 years. So that's the normal duration of a master's here. But there are also 1 year course as well. But I won't recommend that. The 2 years is the basic, because I've heard like 1 year's master course are not taken seriously when you go back home. And like they see that if you have a 2 years education, that's more requirement. So any students applying, I would definitely recommend for a 2 years masters apart, instead of the 1 year one. But there are a lot of 1 year courses as well.
Okay, so in there any means language barrier as like as Germany, like you have to know German for the part-time jobs and all. Is there any that kind of scenario is there in Sweden?
So for part-time jobs, it's
or
not a
or not
requirement.
only part-time jobs actually, I should not say like that, means for livelihood do you need the Swedish language, that local
Yeah,
language?
for working here, I'll definitely say you need to learn the language. It's a requirement, especially if you're working within like customer facing jobs where you're working with manufacturing, production. I won't say it's a requirement for IT and all, but for all European countries, have a language. Knowing the basic language is a requirement if you want to survive here. If you see that you are just coming here for the getting the education and going back, then it's not a requirement. But if you want to, stay, know the culture, it's a mandatory. This is my viewpoint. There are people who have not learned the language, but when you put an effort, people appreciate that, and it increases your employability, I can say.
Okay.
And there are like free government institutes, like government gives free education in Swedish, so it's free of cost. At least in Sweden, you can learn for free, and it's not a require. And it's like teachers are super serious. It's not like it's callous. Super serious teacher, good teachers who help you learn the language. So yeah, so if you want to work and settle in Europe or Sweden, whenever, you have to have in the back of your mind that you need to learn the language one day or the other. Yeah.
Okay. And now let's just let us know about the part-time job opportunity there. Like it's like an odd job, or you could do any internship in any company while studying in your university or such like that. What's the
Yeah,
scenario?
so I have seen students who had landed themselves with internships and all. Even now they're getting. But during my time, I managed to get, like, I was working like a Foodora. Foodora is similar to Zomato, in India. So I was working full time as a Foodora delivery guy. So I was like, going around Stockholm delivering food with my bike.
Okay.
And I have done this for almost, I guess, 1.5 year on my studies. And I used to work in the weekends after school, and it was sufficient to, pay for my living expense. So yeah, I will not say it's impossible, but there are opportunities, but you have to put in a lot of effort, because my life back home was very lavish and I never thought I will do, but I have done food delivery, I have done dog sitting, I have worked in a bar as well as a cleaner, can you say? Yeah. So I have
Yeah.
done like quite a lot of part-time during my stay here. So, and here people don't look down at you when you're like, they just see you're working and you're getting paid. So it's not a shame that you're working here. So I it developed a lot of respect for, people who are working back home, where I see it's a tough work and you try to appreciate them, what they are doing. And I guess it's good to, also be humble that At least you start from, you start from base level and then you grow up slowly. So I guess there are people who doesn't have to think about money, who come from affluent background, then you don't need to work. But yeah, it's, at least for me, it helped me lead a comfortable life here, supported myself. Yeah.
Okay. So in your student life, when you are in the university, so have you just stayed alone or in a just shared apartment?
So I stayed alone. I stayed alone in my own, like we have dormitories where there is a single kitchen and
Yeah.
10 to 12 people share the kitchen, and
Yeah.
I have my own bathroom. And there are also dormitories where there is like, you have your own kitchen and 2 3 people can stay together. But I decided to have a single accommodation, and that costs like 4,500 sec. So it's around, so whatever sec I say, you need to multiply by 8.5 and it will give you the Indian value.
Okay.
So it's around,
4,500 per month.
yeah, per month. So it's
Okay.
around, yeah.
So
So
you just paid all the things by your part-time jobs, or that
yeah,
was included
so
in?
first year my I got money back from home for the first year, but after that I used to I made good money working part time, and I could pay for, my rent, my groceries. And an important thing about living in student dorm is, in India, when you have mess system. In Sweden we don't have that, and food
Mhm.
is very expensive, so you have to cook. You cannot like eat outside every day, so you have to cook, you have to
Okay.
buy groceries. And that is something important, and that's not only for Sweden, I guess it's true for everywhere outside.
Every foreign country, yeah.
Food is very
So
expensive. Yeah.
yeah. So just then can we get to know about the average cost of living in every month in Sweden?
Yeah, so it's around 7,000 sec per month, which is around 56,000 rupees. uh,
And
so
by the part-time job, anyone can just.
I used to get like 8,500 8,000 sec per month. So I used to
Okay.
save a bit, and yeah, that I used to use that money for going out, meeting friends, going to bars. So that way it was sorted. It was a very comfortable life. But I had to work in the weekend, so I worked like maybe Friday evening, Monday evening, Tuesday evening. So I work like around 15 to 20 hours a week part time, and that I got like 8.5, which is not at all good salary compared to Sweden, but for us it was a good money, for me at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, just I'm just asking about the job searching visa. In USA, it is 3 months. In Germany, it is 1.5 year. So, what's the scenario in Sweden?
So in Sweden, when I was studying, it was after you get your final credits, you get 6 months of job search visa, which has been extended to 1 year now. So I think in 2020 it was the first time you had like 1 year job search visa, but we got six months of job search visa. That is after you have got the final grade. People confuse and say, even if you finished your presentation and you did not get your grade, then you are not eligible for the job search visa. So you need to have a completed education to get your job search visa.
Okay. Okay, so the thing is, Bhaiya, I wanted to know actually. So, what would you prefer? That after getting the grade, you will search for the companies, or when you are in the final semester, every student in Sweden just search for the job? Means do the basic research by their own, and after that, getting the degree, they will apply for the company. Is that so?
No, for Sweden, I don't know about Germany or anything. For
Yeah, yeah.
Sweden, you need to be searching for job as soon as you land in Sweden. That's my recommendation, because
Okay.
there is no campus. We call it
On-campus
campus.
facility is not there
There is no,
as like as
they have
India.
big career fairs. We have
Okay.
like Armada, like, which is one of the biggest career fair in the Nordics, where different companies come. And I had the notion that you go there and get a job, but it's not like that. The
Okay.
companies come there and tell them about the opportunities that they have. They distribute leaflets, but
Mm-hmm.
you need to go to the website and apply. So there is no campus placement as such. You if you're lucky, you apply for jobs and you get a job before graduation. But there is no concept of campus placement. Even nobody's coming, going to come and give you a job. You have to fight for your job. Yeah.
Okay, that means in some, if I summarize the whole thing, I can say that in the career fairs you will find those opportunities that in which profile you have to
Exactly.
landed up, or
Right.
in which domain you just have to switch. Okay, so another thing is there. For example, if just for the curiosity I'm asking, for example, you have done your masters in, for example, what should I say? Yeah, for example, in IT or in a just electronics domain, okay, and you are not applying your just that particular core domain where you means in which domain you have completed your masters, but
Yeah.
instead of that you are just applying to the similar which is relevant to
Yeah.
that field, okay, that kind of company. So is there any chance to get a job there?
So for me, it was never easy, but I have had people who just after graduation got a job.
Mm-hmm.
So getting job is not related to your studies, I can say, at least from my experience. You
Okay,
need to
it
look
doesn't
at
depend on the transcript or the study
uh,
programs.
it just depends on the value that you can bring to the company. So the main target of going into the career fairs is there are like 180 companies coming there. You
Mm-hmm.
go there, get to know the company, make a note, and as soon as you come home, try to make connections. In Sweden, it works through connections. So you go to LinkedIn, apply for connections, get to connect with those people. Like if you are good in communication, at that point itself, you speak with him and say, "Hi, can I just connect you, add you to my LinkedIn network?" And they will say, "Okay, yeah, no problem." And you just add them there, and you just drop an message to him and say, "Hi, we got connected." And then you can say that you cannot ask him like, "Can you give me a job?" You can just ask him like, "I saw this opportunity, I applied. Is it possible that you can arrange an
You could.
interview?" Yeah. And it doesn't, if you are from production, like you cannot just, there are a lot of opportunities, so you need to find your track. You might be finding opportunities in Ericsson, which is not a production company, but you might be getting opportunities in process engineering, process development,
Okay.
product development. So you need to go to their career website, search for the jobs that you like, and then just apply. And then if you have contacts, and contacts are not made in one day. In Sweden, it's made over like you just don't connect with me and next day you ask me for a job. It doesn't work like this. You need to connect and you can say, "Hi, how are you doing? Nice. It was good. Thank you for connecting." Then you maybe have small talks later in 2-3 months. And then like in 6 months, you see he's replying or not.
Okay,
And then
that
you ask
means
him like,
everything you have to plan accordingly and you have to
it's
act.
not like you just wake up one day and start applying for job and you get. And for me, from my experience looking at other people, it's not just you apply and get. You need to have connections which you need to make in the 2 years, and these connections will help you in the future. Like you need to have good connections with your colleagues, maybe meet your students, fellow classmates, and maybe they get into good companies, and then you ask him and then he recommends you to that company. It will be helpful. And it has happened with me also. Like my classmate, he was working for this company which I'm working now, and he recommended me, and I got my job even without sending a CV or giving a job interview.
Okay.
So recommendations work big time, at least here. I don't know about Europe, but that's why I say you come here day one, you start connecting with people, not like just go into the just annoy them, just like gentle connections, and then slowly these connections will yield in result in the years. Like you nurture the
Okay.
connections, give nutrition, and then it will give you results, hopefully.
Okay. So after graduation, what you have done? You just joined that company, and what you are doing exactly right now?
So during my studies, I was working for this smart lock company called Glue, and we have like a smart lock ecosystem where people. So about the company, it's a smart lock company, and with the smart lock, you can have in-home deliveries. Like you can get in-home delivery inside your house when you're not there. So that's the main concept. That is in-home last mile delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And during my studies, I was working as a smart lock installer for this company. So I was going to people's houses, and then we were installing the locks on their door. And then slowly I was working as an installer for a few months, and then I got into other things, and then slowly the company started growing. We started recruiting more students, and I started to manage the students. So at a point of time, I manage around 30 students, going, training them, educating them, booking installations, sending them for installation, and getting their payments done. So this is how I started my role in the company. That was like maybe 2.5 years back. And because it's a startup, I did a lot of small works within the company, did internal project management, work with sales, work with communications, even went myself out on the on-site visit, work with customer support. So my role has been like, it's not a fixed role. It has been like varied with ups and downs. And right now I'm working as an operations associate in the company, and I'm working with marketing, commercial team, sales, also customer support. So it's a very diverse role. Like, and I cannot say I'm just
So can I just say that it's a startup you are working on
yeah,
right now?
it's
Okay.
a full-fledged startup based in Stockholm and UK.
Okay.
And
So
I
yeah, yeah.
wish to switch one day, and I wish to like switch to Scania or Volvo, or move into more core production. So that's my dream, and hopefully it happens soon. So
I'm
I'm
sure
not
of it. You will get it one day.
yeah.
So, Bhaiya, so this is the ending part of the video. So, would you like to give any tip who are planning to go to Sweden, or our juniors who are planning to go to foreign universities from your department? Would you like to give any
The
tip?
the only thing which I would say is, if you want to learn, don't come here to, if you want to get grades, then it's different. But if you want to learn something, then outside. And life outside, it looks fascinating, it looks like it's a very good life, but it's not so. It's a very tough life. It's tougher than the life that you have back home. It might look good in the picture that we post or share, but it's a very tough life, and not everybody is built for that life. Like, you
Yeah,
have to manage your own things. There is job satisfaction, that is different. There is like visa issues, there are other lot of other things that you have to deal all alone. And it's not an easy life that people think, like, it's so fancy to study outside. You have to manage your expenses, to do a lot of things which you never thought of. So come prepared mentally, and always be humble. You should not be over smart, and I have seen a lot of over smart people like failing miserably, because here they don't care if you use a Apple phone or if you use a small Nokia. They don't care. In India we have this thing, right? Like, okay, I have this fancy bike, and people, oh wow. I also had that feeling. These things don't work here. Like, even you might come in a Porsche, even the professors come cycling to the university. Can you imagine? Like,
yeah,
professors standing in a queue. Like, if you are in a queue, the professors will stand behind, and they don't have the sense of authority, which I love about Sweden. It's very equal. Like, the professors don't behave like they are like something superior. It's so much approachable. In India, unless and until you're very friendly with the teacher, that is different. But okay, dean, oh wow, I have to speak with the dean. Like, it's such a big thing. Here it's not a big thing. It's like a very small thing. And that's very, you have to be, that's humbling about Sweden. Like, they're so humble, and yeah, you have to be humble and try to do that you're best at, and try to get better at it. Yes, that's the only thing. And yeah, it's I'm not scaring, but it's not as easy. It's a
yeah.
very
It's
tough
not
life.
about scaring. It's the reality which you are saying actually,
Yeah, yeah.
and they should know the reality also. Unless and until they will only look into
Unless
the
and until
positive
you have
things.
a, because you're spending so much money to study outside. If you're from a rich background, you have backup plans, then you can like do whatever you feel like. But if
You
you
are
have
putting
spent
all
all,
of your just property
yeah, because
into
you are
your foreign
putting
study.
all the eggs in one basket, that is studying and
Yeah,
getting a job, because that's the end goal. And and you have to have plan B.
yeah, obviously.
And you have to put 100%, because I have had friends who came here with all dreams, and then they had to leave, because they could not find a job. And if you leave Sweden, it's also, you feel like, okay, I have a master's degree, and it will be easy path for me to work back home. But that's also difficult, because it's also a big competition back home as well. So yeah, and even this pandemic made everyone's life, it made like the graduates life more tough, like, so yeah, just be prepared mentally, and you have to be very tough mentally. It's not an easy thing. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Bhaiya, for sharing all the details and experiences and tips and advices to all of us. I hope the viewers have been benefited by all the talks. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video till the end, I guess. So please hit the like button if you really like the video, and let me know through comments below there if any kind of doubt is there. If many more comments would be coming about Sweden, then we can try to make any Q&A video with Bhaiya if he would be available. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet. And and if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that every video could be reached to you through notification. This much for today, guys. See you on the next video.